Why aren't men approaching women anymore? I hear that all of the time. I have many clients that ask me that on a regular basis, that they're doing all the things to let men know that they're approachable, they're smiling, they're giving all the signals out to men, but men still are not approaching them. I remember a day when unwanted attention came a lot. And I think most women can attest to this. There are men with cat calls and coming up and talking to you, people who you weren't interested in, and now that you want the attention, men aren't giving it. What's going on there? We're going to talk about that today on It's Never Too Late to Date. When it comes to men not approaching women anymore, there are two thought forms that we need to talk about. And one of them has to do with you as an individual and things that you might be doing. And then the other is what society has done. And we're going to start with what we can do as individuals to try to make a change, to try to attract men, and also make men feel comfortable. And one of them is I've talked about this in a couple past videos, is that when we go out, we need to be dressed in a way that's appealing. And I do think that not everybody, but I do see a lot of just lazy dressing. But I do think that we all should get in the habit of, when we go out to wherever we go, whether it's a grocery store, the post office, just our normal daily routine is to at least take some time to, you don't have to dress up, but be casual and, what's the word? Attractive. And whatever you need to put on to feel attractive is what I'm saying. Everybody is going to be a little bit different, but I do know that if I go to the store and I've got my sweats on that are old sweats, and I just have a big old sweatshirt on, and I'm out and about, chances are I'm going to run into somebody that I know, and I'm comfortable that way, and I'm not trying to meet anybody. And so I feel like it's all right if I do that. But if you're in the market of finding somebody, you just never know who you're going to run into. So you've got to take that little bit of effort each time you go out. You just never know when you're going to run into somebody, meet somebody new, and you just have to be prepared for that. That first impression is everything. And you may see a guy that you think is attractive or whatever, and they're not even going to look at you if you're not feeling good about yourself. And usually, when you're dressed well, you're smiling, and you've got a whole different kind of demeanor going on. So, dressing nicer is one thing. All right. Now, also making eye contact. If you see somebody, say you're dressed nice and you're out and about, and you see somebody that's attractive, make eye contact. I think it's the most uncomfortable thing for some people to do, though. So you have to be thinking about it and do it intentionally. Make eye contact. You may see somebody from a distance and you go, oh gosh, that guy's good looking. He's attractive. And then you look away, or you're kind of looking without him seeing that you're looking. You want to be sure that you make eye contact. If something happens with that, great. But nothing will ever happen if you don't try. All right. You go out, you're dressed nice, but you always have that air of you're a league above everybody. And I do see that a bit, especially with some women. And it's usually not what they're trying to portray. I do think that a lot of women are very self conscious. They're dressed nice, but that's their confidence there. They're trying to look confident, but if anybody ever were to approach them or talk to them, they wouldn't know what to say. And so sometimes people walk around and they're not making eye contact because they don't know what to do if they get attention. And so sometimes that's a defense mechanism. And so you may walk around head up and you don't look approachable. So you want to make sure that you relax when you're out. Sure, you can walk. You should have your head up and be confident when you're out. But at the same time, look for that eye contact, a smile. That can make all the difference. That image that you're above everybody, and at the same time, you're never smile. You look too serious. And, usually, I wouldn't approach anybody that looks too serious. I feel like I'm in their way if it's a guy that looks very serious. But if I see a guy that's smiling, and I'm with somebody, but I'm very social, and if somebody's got a smile on their face, I'm going to say hi, that's all it's going to do. That's all as far as I'm going to take it. But I will at least be relaxed enough to say hi to somebody. Now, if you're single, you should be all about that. And you never know where that conversation may lead. So those are just a few things. There's so many things that you can do when you're out and about that, can make yourself approachable. But now I'm going to talk a little bit about something that's the bigger picture of what's happened over the last, I'd say, 10 years that's made a change in men and whether they're comfortable or not to approach women. And so once women got out into the workforce back in the mid 50s and sometimes even earlier than that, all types of things started happening between men and women. And there were a few men, quite a few men, who decided that they could treat women however they wanted to. Also, women were, some were allowing it, but some also didn't know what else to do if they wanted to keep their jobs. And so lots of stuff like that was going on. And then it totally flipped over to where now men are afraid to even address a woman or talk to someone or smile at someone without maybe being called harassers. And we've swung the pendulum way, way far to the other side. Now, it needed to go there to probably get to the middle somewhere. But I think a lot of men have just been watching and noticing what's happened to other men who have gone too far, and now they don't know what to do. And so we have to be aware of that as women and try to be more relaxed. And that's one of the reasons why if you go on a dating site, and I feel that the main thing that women should be looking for are to meet new people, to make new friends on the dating sites. And even if you're not using a dating site, if you're going out into dances or to listen to music or whatever, take that pressure off of always trying to meet the new next Mr. Right, and just look for meeting friends. And if you have that demeanor and you have that kind of relaxed feeling about you, then I do believe that men will feel that you're more approachable. And so if you go out with that in mind, I do think that you can have a big effect on how men see you, and whether or not you look approachable or not. Thanks again for joining me on It's Never Too Late to Date, the channel about dating after 60. And please share this with your friends. Hopefully you've liked and subscribed and you'll get all the videos that are coming out. But I just appreciate you, and I do hope that you're getting something out of the content that I'm creating here. And we will see you on the next video.